Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of live counter review using technical analysis. So for today, the flow will be same as per usual. So first, I'll go through the US economic calendar to find out some of the key events that we should be looking out for this week. And then afterwards, I'll go talk about some of the indices and commodities. And afterwards, I'll go into the different sectors like the Magnificent Seven, US banks, semicons, as well as EVs. And last but not least, I also will take questions you have in the Q&A. Yeah, so if you have any questions, just feel free to drop them in the Q&A, but just try to limit them to three uh, per person, so we can try to answer more questions by other people as well. Yeah, thanks. So without further ado, I'll begin. So in terms of economic calendar wise, this week there's quite some data going on. So tonight, there's some industrial production data that's at 10:15 p.m. Then going to tomorrow, there's the weekly ADP employment change numbers at 9:15 p.m. Okay, then tomorrow night there's also the PPI and retail sales numbers that's coming out at 9:30 p.m. Then following which there's consumer confidence numbers at 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Afterwards, going to Wednesday there's the jobless claims that's at 9:30 p.m. Then there's also a GDP number at 9:30 p.m. as well. And also PCE price index at 11 p.m. and the usual core inventory is at 11:30 p.m. So that's for Wednesday. Then for Thursday, something to take note will be that US markets will be closed because of Thanksgiving. So Thursday is closed. Then Friday is a half day trading session that's early close as well. So it's a very short week in terms of the US markets this week. But quite a lot of important data. So most important one will be tomorrow the PPI at 9:30 p.m. Then Wednesday the jobless claims numbers and GDP 9:30 p.m. and also the PCE at 11 p.m. Yeah, so quite a lot of data to take note this week. Okay, next one I'll talk about is Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay, so for Bitcoin, I think currently still some weakness, but on Friday there's a bit of a weak. There's a bit of a weak has been formed around 80.5K level, some rebound, but overall still weak price action as price is still currently still finding some resistance along like 5 MA. So no confirmation of any sign of bottom yet. But Friday quite high volume. So let's see whether if it does retest, I think yeah, let's see whether if it does retest around the 80.5K swing low, whether there will be support. If there's support coming, then there could be a chance for bottom to be formed. Yeah, for now, I think just observe first. Yeah, since price is still finding resistance from the 5 and 10-day short-term move averages, which are the blue and the red line you see in the chart. And zooming out, I think if it continues downtrend below 80.5K, the next key support level, I think that should be able to hold price. I feel will be around this close to like 76K. So this was like, remember back at the start of this year, in like March to April this year, that there was quite a lot of tests of this 75 to like 78K area over here where price managed to find some support before it started a good uptrend. So I think if price goes if it goes a lower low and retests this level, I think it should be able to support the price after the big decline that we have seen over the past few weeks. Yeah, so that's for Bitcoin. And then for support, in terms of resistance, I think for now could be around this 10 MA level, around close to 89K. There's also like this it was also a breakdown level on like after 19 November. Yeah, then above that 93K is also a quite strong resistance as well, I feel, because it's also a horizontal breakdown level in 17 November. Yeah, then I think the 20 MA could come down to this level to provide some resistance as well. So overall for Bitcoin, still some weakness, but I think yeah, for now, just see. I think I'll be looking at whether the Friday lows can hold or not because of the high volume. If not, we might see a lower low towards like the April lows this year. Okay, next up I'll talk about is Dow Jones. So Dow Jones, I think, seen some weakness last week. So eventually, like it also broke down this uptrend support line in this bold black line over here on middle of last week, and then looks like a retest on Thursday find some resistance around 46.7K area over here. So I think currently it's just resting at this 45.7K 45.7K level, which is also this blue line, this 100 SMA level over here. Then currently this green MA is also the 50 SMA that's holding as a bit of resistance. So I think overall for now, most likely it could do a bit of a sideways over here for now. If it holds this 45.7K, this horizontal support level, as well as this 100 SMA level. Then resistance for now will be most likely the breakdown of this uptrend channel, which is 46.7K to about 47 point, somewhere around 47.3K. Yeah. Then if it goes below, if it breaks below this 45.7K, right, the next support level that I think Dow Jones could hit is around 45K, the psychological level, and it's also like this previous range resistance breakout level in late August. So that will be the next support level for Dow Jones. Yeah, for now, I think. So, yeah, for now, I think we could most likely could see some sideways because in terms of the weekly, even though last week broke down below the 10 MA weekly, it tested the 20 MA weekly which could act as a bit of a support if we look at a short-term bounce where there could be a bit of short-term bounce if you look at like around last year when pullbacks to this area tend to find some bit of bounce from the weekly levels. Yeah, so that's for Dow Jones. Then next one I'll talk about is Nasdaq. Yeah, so for Nasdaq, I think currently last week weakness where it broke below this upward support line over here. Then I think for now in the short term it could be trading within this downtrend channel over here for now. Then in terms of the moving averages, last week also finding resistance from F50 SMA level where previously was support, and now it's testing 100 SMA on Thursday, Friday, holding like 22K. So I think for now, we could expect some sort of bounce from this level. 22K is also like around a previous horizontal support level formed in like September to October over here this year. So I think we could see some temporary support coming at this level, but resistance wise is also quite there's also should be quite a lot of resistance from the recent breakdown, like 22.6K onwards to 23K. So I think most likely we could see some sideways movement kind of price action this week, I feel. Yeah. Then if it breaks below the Friday swing low level 22K, the next key support level I think would be somewhere close to like 21.5K. Yeah, then if it goes lower than that, then will be like 21K. 21K if it does hit, I think will be a very, very strong support because of the horizontal level over here. And when I zoom out, it's also like a long-term uptrend channel support. So if it does hit there, I think it's a very good support. It's a very strong support level in case it hits. But for now, I'm expecting some sideways price action with support being tested on Friday and resistance ahead from the recent breakdowns. And then next up for S&P, I'm thinking similar as well. So for S&P also last week, we saw a breakdown of this uptrend channel, which it was trading in since August. Then currently resistance is the breakdown of this uptrend channel, as well as the 50 SMA level. Then on Friday also tested 100 SMA, just resting over here for now. So I think this week wise, most likely could see some sideways price action, I feel. Yeah, with resistance, resistance could come from the horizontal level breakdown like 6650 to about 6750 area. Yeah, then in terms of support, if the 100 SMA as well as the horizontal level at 6555 doesn't hold, right, the next key support level I think will be somewhere close to 6430 based on the previous horizontal resistance in like July to August this year. Yeah, so then in terms of the weekly moving averages, which I forgot to touch on for the Nasdaq just now, also tested 20 SMA on the weekly. So previously it was also like we tend to see some bounces from these 20 SMA weekly levels from last year. Then Nasdaq also similar like last year. So I think overall this week wise, We could see some sort of bounce, but I think still quite a lot of resistance ahead from the recent breakdown. So maybe just some sort of choppiness for the indices this week. Then next one is gold. Yeah, so gold for now, I think it's just moving quite sideways, quite small candles recently. But I think the key level to watch whether it will still remain strong is whether it can hold the 4,030 level over here, around here. So this level, I think, is because it coincides with this horizontal resistance breakout on 10 November. And then also another thing is that on there's also this short-term upward support line that price is respecting. So there's two confluence of support over here that price must hold for it to rebound and continue some strength in this like consolidation. Yeah, if there's a breakdown below this level, I think we could expect some further weakness down towards like 3,930 again, the lows. And also in terms of resistance wise, I'm expecting quite range bound action with like resistance at this recent highs, 4,130 to 4,245 most likely. Yeah. And then in terms of the weekly chart, also currently we are seeing the 5 MA and 10 MA around 4,020 to 4,040 around that. So I think we could see some sideways price action for now for gold. Okay, then next one I'll talk about is oil. So oil, I think still weakness overall, is in the downtrend. And then price action wise, still lower highs and lower lows recently. So I think possibly could be a channel. So let me just draw it out. Yeah, something like that. So I think most likely still remain weakness with resistance more likely like 59.50 onwards to about 61.50. Then support wise, probably the recent lows form at 20 October around there. That's around close to $56. Then also previously 55.50 was a swing low support in May this year. So maybe 55 to 56 support, then 15 like around 60 there is resistance. So maybe just a gradual trading in this downtrend channel for oil. Then next one I'll talk about is VIX. So market volatility index. So for the VIX last week, we saw a retest of this 28.3 level on Thursday, then some slight pullback. But I think overall, we can see that recently volatility is elevated, where there's higher lows along the way. And for a few weeks, we can see that this level around 2190 is holding as some support. So as long as this region over here still maintains as support, I think there could be still some elevated volatility in the markets. So for now, most likely, I think maybe some sideways kind of range, where there's some supports around 20 to 22 for VIX. Then resistance-wise is 28, the recent highs. And then I think the next resistance, if it breaks above 20, will be 35. 35 was this previous horizontal level during the April period. So that's for VIX. If it hits 35, I think that could represent some good attractive entry prices. If it really there's some increased volatility again in the markets. Okay, then next one, so next one I'll talk about copper. Copper, nothing much, just still moving sideways. 5.2 resistance to 5.3, then support is around like 4.5 to 5. So yeah, nothing much. So I'll move on to the different sectors. First one, I'll start off with the Magnificent Seven. So first up, Magnificent Seven is I'll look at this the overall index first. So I look at this MAGS Mag 7 ETF to actually get a sensing of how the Mag 7 are doing on the whole. So for this, we can see it's currently at a critical level. So still some support is holding like $63.50, which is this horizontal support, as well as this upward support line that's around it, and then close to 100 SMA as well. So for now, I think this level could be able to hold unless it breaks below the blue line, 100 SMA, $62. Then we might see some weakness towards like 61 and below. But I think upside wise, not much for now, because from the 50 SMA, this green line, it should be some resistance, 65.20. And then also I'm expecting resistance from this horizontal level 65.70, which was previous resistance, and also there's also this short-term downwards resistance line. So I think uh most likely could be some choppiness sideways price action in the near term, similar to what I think of for the Nasdaq. Yeah, so that's my take for the Max 7 on the whole. Also slightly close to reaching the 20 SMA level on the weekly. Yeah, so that that could be some support if it reaches there. Okay, next one I'll move on to the individual stocks. So first one is on Meta. So I think Meta for now, last week overall, I think the price has started to do a bit of a sideways, but overall, so looking a bit better, but hasn't come out of the downtrend that we have seen. So price is just holding some support at 587, which is this previous swing high resistance during the April period. So I think this is one support level, but for it to regain some strength, it needs to break above this 605 level now, which is this around the 10 MA level. Also, is also a horizontal breakdown level over here recently. Yeah, so it needs to try to overcome it, then try to hold as support for it to try to reverse up, but haven't happened yet. So just a bit sideways. If it breaks below the support, the lower week supports that we've seen last week, around 580, then most likely we could see continued downside towards the gap fill over here. So that would be around, this is 548 to 557 around here, like this area. That will be most probably the next support level for Meta. Yeah, so for now, I think still no signs of reversing yet, but just holding sideways last week. And yeah, and if we continue break lower lows, then we can look for the next support level. If not, if there's a break upwards, then we see whether it can hold the 605 around there as support. Yeah. Next one is Amazon. Yeah, so for Amazon last week, still showed some weakness where it broke below this 228 level and continue to test the next support level. So next support is around 216, which is tested on Thursday, Friday, this level, and yeah, just pausing over there for a while. I think below that there is another support level at 211 now, which is these two swing lows, August as well as October over here. Then overall, this is quite range previously. So I think this is quite a good support level to reference from. So for now, I think, and this is also like close to 200 SMA level as well on near Friday, 214 around there. So for now, I feel that most likely some sideways price action because in near term wise, there's some resistance likely to be at 228 horizontal level as well as 50 as well as 100 SMA levels. And then we could see the 10 MA come down to hold as resistance as well. So I'm thinking if it holds the Friday support, most likely it will be range between like 216 to 228 for this week, I feel. Yeah. Then next one I'll talk about is Apple. So Apple, I think still one of the stronger names out there, still maintaining the range structure over here between like 266 to 276. And yeah, so unless there's a breakdown of 266, then should be still a very strong uptrend. If it breaks below 266, then look for the next support at 257 previously, which was previous all-time high last year as well. For now, I think still maintain bullish. Then hopefully you can see whether it can break above 276 to continue the uptrend. For now, still just a normal like bullish consolidation. Then next one, Netflix. Yeah, for Netflix, I think still showing weakness. So last week I think the chart was around here, like just moving sideways with some support like 109, 110. But from midweek, like Wednesday onwards, price continue to show weakness where it broke down lower low and then moving average starting to slope down again. So I think with that, most likely we see probably some weakness towards the next support. I think 100 psychological level as well as a previous neckline over here. So close to 100 previously, this was a double bottom in March and April. Then this is a neckline over here. So I think 100 will be a resistance likely to turn support. Psychological level as well as I have a upwards support line over here as well. So that would be three supports. I think that would be quite a strong support level if it does test 100 for Netflix. Yeah, for the meantime, it's still quite weak. So let's see whether it can hold support if it hits over there. Yeah. And next one, Alphabet, strongest tech name out there for now for the Max 7. So Alphabet, yeah, just last week we saw a breakout of this bullish flat consolidation above 292. Yeah. So I think look at in terms of the range projection, take 276 to 292. The projected target level perhaps could be somewhere like 308, I think. Yeah, so that last week quite hit about 306. Yeah, so let's hope it hits this level and whether it can continue to maintain upwards. So I think as long as it doesn't break below 292 should be fine, I think. Yeah. So still a very strong uptrend, trending upwards for Alphabet. And next one, Microsoft, last one. Yeah, so for Microsoft, I think there's still weakness, especially last week. I think where we saw there's a breakdown of this 497 level. So I think overall it looks the chart actually looks, I think, not the best, I think, because if you look at this range, right, is okay. We look in terms of this range, it looks like a double top over here at 550 around here. Then there's a breakdown of this support. So most likely we could see some further downside if it continues to remain below 497, this breakdown level. And also it also broke below this 480 support. So I think now the next support level that could hold the price 464. So 464 is a previous horizontal all-time high previously, and also the 200 SMA level that see whether there's some rejection from these levels to do some rebound, I think. Yeah, then in terms of resistance will be like 480 as well as the 5 MA perhaps for Microsoft. Okay, then let me just put another support level downwards. So if 464 there fails to hold, I think the next support level is maybe around like 450 based on previous horizontal swing high in December last year. Yeah. And some consolidation in May this year. Okay, yeah. So that's it for the big tech name. So overall, to sum up, I think most likely we probably see some sideways price action, I feel. And then the strong ones like Alphabet and Apple, I think most likely they could still continue to go upwards as long as the trend doesn't break down. Then some weak ones like Netflix, Microsoft, Meta, all these. I think we could still see some weakness unless unless they can recover back above the breakdowns. Yeah, I think, but most likely I think they will go a bit lower to test the next support levels. And then next one I'll talk about the US banks. So I'll start first with this XLF, this a Spider Financial Fund to look at how it's doing. So last week I think not good price action with Dow Jones breaking down and this one also breakdown of the channel support and this blue line over here. So on Monday there was a breakdown of 52. Then Thursday retest still finding resistance. So I think for now it's holding. It went on to test its like $51 support level next. So I think this is the horizontal support level that's held since end of June over here. So I think it will be quite important for price to hold this support. If not, we might see continued weakness towards next level, somewhere close to 49.70. Yeah. So for now, I think at this level is also 200 SMA. We might see some, I think, range bound, some sideways kind of price action first with like trading between 51 to 52 for now first. Yeah. Then I'll move on to talk about the 4 banks. So first one, JPM. So JP Morgan, I think, is at quite a critical level. It's so continuing on there was this double top and bullish trap at 316 over here. Then price came back down to last week was sideways to retest this like 297 upward support line level, as well as the horizontal swing low level here like, at 294. Yeah, so I think this level is quite important for price to hold. If not, we most probably will see some further downside now. So next support level, if it doesn't hold, will be around 286. But that will break a structure over here where it was trending upwards along this support line. So if that breaks, then it will not be very good. But for now, most likely, I think um quite sideways, I think, with some resistance more likely to be at the 50 SMA, this green line over here. So I think resistance will be like 307 about there. Yeah, then there's also some moving averages, like the 10 and 20 MA levels around there. So I think for now, if this holds as support, most likely quite sideways, I feel, for now, yeah. And for Wells Fargo, I think Wells Fargo is also last week just still hanging in there. So overall, still, if you look at the bigger picture, still quite bullish, where it's still holding like 83 now, which is this previous recent still holding as support over here. So currently like, still in this range, 83 to 87. Then yeah, so I think it will be quite important to hold this level, also the 100 SMA level over here, like this part, and also this part over here. So if this holds, most probably we see some rebound to just continue the range for now, 83 to 87. If there's a breakdown below this 82 level, then I would think there could be some downside towards uh somewhere like 79 about there. Then next one is 77 now. So still maintaining range unless there's a breakdown, I feel, for Wells Fargo. And next one, Bank of America. I think for Bank of America, we continue to see some weakness since the falls, since the since it couldn't hold the breakout of 52.60 over here. Then when there was a breakdown last week, and then retest of this 52.60 level held as resistance. So currently it's maintaining this horizontal support level around close to $50.80 about there, this swing low. And I think it's quite important to hold. If not, we might see some continued downside towards like to retest somewhere close to 48.80, which is this swing low. Yeah, so I think this level is quite important to hold bounce. Most likely sideways. I think it will be quite sideways in this range. Like 51 to 50, 250 around there. Yeah. And last but not least, Citigroup. Yeah, so for Citigroup, I think nothing much. Just uh still just move sideways, like 96 to 101, still in this range. Unless there's a breakdown, then the next key level supports like 93 and 90, 91. Yeah. And above 101, the next key level is like close to 105. So just nothing much, still sideways. So overall, if I look at the bank charts, I think overall still quite sideways overall. Just still range bound, but take note, if they do break down their range levels, then I think we could expect some more downside ahead. Then next one, I'll move on to the semicon sector. So for semicons, first I'll go through the first the semicon, I'll talk about the index first, the Philadelphia Semicon Index. So last week after last week in terms of price, Monday there was price maintained below this breakdown level 6867 over here. Then went to Thursday after Nvidia results open at resistance, but closed all the way down towards the support over here again. Then Friday just some indecision over here at the support. So I think price tested this 6370 support level, holding a bit sideways over here for now. So I think if this over here, we could maybe see a bit of a bounce since it's still holding a bit of support over here. But we'll expect some resistance from maybe the 10 ME level if it comes down, maybe somewhere like 6,620, 6,630 about there. Yeah. Then I think this level is quite important. If not, we might see some lower levels towards the next key level will be somewhere around 5,900. That will be close to previous all-time high in July this year, and also this range consolidation previously in August to September. Yeah. And currently it's also tested the 100 SME level over here for now. So that's it for the semi-con index. Some weakness still present, but currently holding a lower support level here. See whether it could do a bit of a bounce for now. Then I'll move on to the semi-con names. Next one is Nvidia. Yeah, so for Nvidia, I see for now, I think overall still weakness in terms of the price action after the results open at the 195 level over here, this horizontal level as well, then just sold off on high volume as well. Then came back down to retest this 180 level, which has been tested a lot of times recently. So continue on the trend of lower highs. And last Friday, some indecision when it tapped close to 173 about there. Yeah. So I think for now will be still quite choppy. Then resistance more likely still 184 based on horizontal level, and but most probably the 5 and 10-day moving averages over here still act as a bit of resistance, I feel. 184 to like 187 about there. Then in terms of support wise, I'm thinking the support downwards most probably still hold, I think 164 to 171. So this still, I think most probably still a support range. And in the meantime, I think most likely it could just move sideways, yeah, for now. Yeah, for Nvidia. Yeah. Okay, next one I'll talk about is AMD. So AMD not very good. AMD actually broke below this 225 key support level after a few tests on Thursday. There was a breakdown and back to test this swing low level at 203 after that time the big gap up previously. So holding support at this level, I think we could maybe see some bounce, but I think it will be still quite weak with most probably resistance coming from the blue at 5 SMA level. Yeah, then I think unless that is overcome, then I think it could still maintain quite weak in the near term. So with the recent breakdown of 225. And if like let's say 203 here doesn't hold, most likely we could see some lower levels like next key level is like I believe is 187 because it was a previous like key swing high resistance in last year and so this year before they came out here. So that will be next support level. Yeah, also around 100 SME over there. Yeah, so for overall for AMD still look a bit weak for now. Yeah, then the selling volume is also like increasing gradually as well. Then next one is TSM. Yeah, so for TSM, last week we can see there's definitely no weakness after the breakdown of this 286 to 306 range over here. The retest over here found some resistance on Monday. Then afterwards, Thursday, open at 20 MA level, also sell down from there. So currently it tested this around like 266, this support level over here. Yeah, over here, then for now, I think over here, we could probably see some sideways, I think perhaps from sideways price and if it holds 266 over here, then resistance most probably from the 5 MA level, like maybe 277, the recent breakdown level is a bit of resistance for now. Yeah. Then below 266, next level is 258, I think from the lows over here. And then next one is around like 246, I think, previous range over here. Yeah, so for now, I think for TSM, most likely, if 266 holds, most likely a bit of a slight sideways for now. Yeah, with some resistance, quite a lot of resistance from the recent breakdowns. Yeah. Okay, next one is ASML. So for ASML, I think continue to show the weakness in terms of price action. Since it failed to hold 1040 over here as during the breakout, and then afterwards it didn't manage to hold. And last week we're doing the retest, still finding resistance. So this is a resistance over here. Then trending a bit slightly lower on Friday. So I think we could see maybe price test this 937 level again to hold as some support. So overall, it's still uptrend, but I think for now, it's just range bound consolidation most likely over here. So I think if it tests 937, most likely we could see some support coming again. But with resistance around the nine close to 1000, this breakdown level here for now. Yeah. And next one, Marvel. Yeah, Marvel still also show weakness like a double top over here, 90 around 94.60. And then last week's price action breakdown is 81 support level and facing some resistance over here. So tested the next support level 74. And I think yeah, most like we could see some sideways, but I would think 81 will be resistance. Then like 79 to 81 will be resistance. Then if 74 holds most likely sideways, but if continue to go lower, then the next key support will be around 68.50 based on the lower support level. But for now, I think there's still some weakness. Looks like a double top breakdown. And this neckline is like 81 over here. Okay, next one I'll go through is Micron. So Micron, one of the strongest, also finally didn't manage to hold last week. So broke down this uptrend channel over here and multiple horizontal supports. So currently is retesting this level over here, like 193 to 200, this area. So I think there could be some bounce, but I would expect resistance from the horizontal level breakdown over here, recently at 218. I think this will be most likely resistance with the short-term moving averages coming down over here as well. Then support-wise, if it continues to go lower, I think next key support will be 181. This horizontal level over here. So I think for now, turn weak. For now, I think will be a bit weak for a while after the recent breakdown of this uptrend channel lah. Yeah. And then next one, I'll talk about two more, Broadcom and Intel, before I move on to the EVs. Yeah, so for Broadcom, it's still range bound. Then last week continued to so the good thing is that it's still holding 335 as support over here, this horizontal level, but resistance wise we can still see is weak because during the retest of this 357 this uptrend support line breakdown level, right? There's still resistance lah over here, and price came back down to over here. So I think if it this level at 330 is very important, is a support. If it doesn't hold, yeah, if it doesn't hold, then I think we could expect some further weakness downwards towards to fill this gap close to like 308 over here. Yeah. So overall, it's still a range. It's still a range over here, but the support here is important to note. If there's a breakdown, then we expect further downside. And next one for Intel, also continue to show weakness since the breakdown of $36 over here acting as resistance lah. So I think we could see some continuation of a bit of a weakness, maybe to test this 32.30 level. Then I think we might see some range kind of price action between like 32 to like 36 for now. So overall for the semicons, still quite weak. Then most of them, I think most could just do a bit of range bound for now lah. So in terms of yeah, that's it for the semicons. The next one I'll move on to the EVs. So first up, Tesla. So I think for Tesla, still quite weak as well. Where after it tested this blue line, this upward support line, price is still facing resistance from the recent breakdown of 417. So just moving sideways over here. I think the Friday lows is quite important to hold at 383. So because this is like tested 2 times already, this swing low support. If it breaks again, if there's a breakdown of this level, I think we could be seeing Tesla going lower to like 367 to test this horizontal level over here. Previous resistance, yeah. But for now, I think will be still quite weak, unless price can try to overcome 417 and also the 5 and 10-day moving averages over here. So I'm expecting quite sideways kind of price action for now for Tesla. Yeah. Provided that the hour support line holds. Then next one, I'll talk about some other EV names like Xpeng. Xpeng after the earnings, very strong selling all the way down. So I think still no signs of a confirmed bottom yet, but Next support level for now is 19.6 over here. Yeah. Then the next extreme one is slightly bit down towards like somewhere close to 17, like close to 18 about there. But for now, no confirmation yet. Unless price can try to cross above the 5M MA level. Then for now, some resistance could be at this 21 level where there's a breakdown, this horizontal level. Then for new also continue to trend downwards over here since the breakdown of like 620 and also $6. So hit the next support level at this is like 530 around there. So over here still maintaining as a bit of a support. If it holds, then we might expect some range kind of trading between 530 to $6. Yeah. But if it breaks 530, the next level will be like 480 about there. Then the last one I'll talk about is Rivian. So for Rivian, I think is for now since the retail like 1670 resistance price pulling back, moving sideways over here. Yeah, so I think it's just a bit sideways at this support level of 1450. Then resistance for now maybe for 1570 about there. Yeah, then below that, below 1450, next support level is around 1320. So that's it for the EV counters. I'll move on to the Q&A that you all have in the Q&A. Let me see. Okay, I see there's a question. Just curious what happens when the 200 DMA is broken. Like you mentioned, USD 464 for Microsoft is extremely bearish. Also for indices, do you see strength or have they broken major trend lines? Okay, so for individual counters, I think if it does break 200, the 200 SMA level, right? I think it's quite bearish because 200 SMA level, you can think about it as a separator between a long-term bullish stock or a long-term bearish stock. Because 200 SMA is, because 1 year you have around 250 trading days, 52 weeks. So 200 or 250 DMA levels, I think is quite important to hold in terms of the longer term, especially if it has been a trending upward stock. So I think it could be quite bearish if it fails to hold. For example, I think overall, if it continues to hold below, then we could expect some weakness, especially for like Microsoft in this case. If there's a double, it looks like a potential double top to me. So if you look in terms of projections, it's a $57 range and move downwards. There could be still some downside to come if it continues to show weakness. Yeah. So I think for individual stocks, it's quite bearish if it fails to hold that. For indices as well, your next question is for the indices, have they broken major? Do you see strength or have they broken major trend lines? Okay, so as I'll just use the S&P as a broad base gauge to talk about it. So indices, I think just now I talked about it. For the Nasdaq and S&P, they have actually broken this uptrend channel. They have been holding steady. So previously, like the recovery was very steady, right? Every month was just going upwards. But I feel that they have broken this channel. So I'm expecting a short-term pullback or correction that is currently taking place right now. So, but I think if it hits some of the lower levels, like if there's some continued selling towards if there's sudden if let's say there's a sudden let's say capitulation form of selling, like just price dropping quite fast, like 90 degrees downwards, like you see for example over here 3 days where it drops a lot. Then let's say like April there was a lot of fear as well, right? During the final drop, then I think that would be I think a good buying opportunity at a extreme fear level. Yeah, for now I think they've broken some important channels as well as trend lines. But I feel that it's most probably it's a short-term market correction. I feel market pullback or correction because from the peak to the trough, it's around S&P like 5.7% drop. So still a normal pullback. Yeah, and then if we look at index I look at, which is the fear and greed index, currently is also at I think it's extreme fear, quite low extreme fear. Like. Now it's like 11 out of 100. So the previous time we've gotten so low, right, is actually during March and April this year when there was a very strong selling in the market. Previously, Liberation Day we hit about 3. I think currently the lowest we hit recently is like 7. So I think if there's still some form of selling, I think that could be a good opportunity to look at it. For the index to is a good probably some good opportunity for the index to recover if it hits those kind of levels with the current pullbacks. Okay, I'll move. Thanks for your question. I'll move on to some of the other questions. So, okay, hi BY, your counters are core with SMPS and CVS. Yeah, so first one for core with, I feel that for now, in terms of the selling, there's probably some is the selling starting to get a bit weaker with the volumes coming down a bit. And also you can see price action starting to move a bit more sideways fashion as compared to the very strong selling you see previously. So for now, actually, in terms of the chart, actually we tested this 64, 65 previous horizontal level. So I think over here, most likely it could possibly hold a bit of a short-term support over here. But resistance wise, I think it's still coming from the 10 MA over here, $80 as well as 85. 85 is a breakdown level over here. Yeah, so I think for now, best case scenario is probably range trading, some range bound trading over here. Provided 64 doesn't, but there's still no any confirmation of a bottom, any good bottom yet. Yeah. Uh, This provided 64 still holds. So I think for now, maybe some side. I feel is most likely is I think 64 should hold for this week and just do a bit of a sideways price action. Below 64, I think if it does break, next support level maybe something close to 50, something close to the $50 level. Yeah. The next one, SMPS, is synopsis. I think for synopsis, for now it's still there's some weakness, but I think it's hitting close to some support levels. We've seen earlier part of this year. So it come down a lot, but in terms of the current price is quite close to this. There's also 365 to 380. This is a support area. So I think for now, price action is moving sideways for now. So I think it could still do a bit of sideways. I think resistance overall has been around this 20 MA level, this yellow line. So, and also there's a horizontal resistance for now, like 404 about there. So I think most likely could move sideways with some supports quite close here and resistance at 404 over here. So I'm guessing sideways for now. Yeah. And then next one, CVS Health. Okay, CVS Health, I think some slight weakness, but still okay for now, where after the earnings gap down, then we test this 81 previous support and to resistance. Then now the key level to watch is this 75, where this is previously a horizontal breakout level tend to support and swing low here tested about twice. So I think if this needs to hold to maintain a short-term sideways price action. Over here, I think resistance most likely for now will be like 79 to 81. Then resistance, that's resistance. Then support is like 76 lah. So 76 need to hold. If not, we might see more bearish pullback towards like 72 to 73 this area over here. Yeah, for now, I think it could do a bit of a sideways for now since recently like Thursday, most like it could be like a second retest of this swing low after this gap down. Yeah, that's my take. Okay, next question is on MSI, ETHV, and Meta. Okay, Meta, I see there's also another question from Sue, so I will just combine it. So first one, I'll talk about Motorola first. So for Motorola, I think still, for now, it's still quite, the selling is still quite heavy, I feel, for now. Some high volume over here and a breakdown of like 400 level, So for now, I think resistance more likely still from this 5 and 10 day short-term averages stuff. So for now, probably like 370, 380 over here. This uh most probably at 380 will be quite a strong resistance from the horizontal level as well. In terms of support, I think in terms of support, I think the next support level will be somewhere close to 350. So previously there was a horizontal level over here, and then next one is like 340 about that. Yeah, so I think it's still quite a strong downtrend for now. Yeah. Then next one is on ETHV, which is the VanEck Ethereum ETF. Yeah, so for this, I think since the breakdown of this 56 level, right, price has come down all the way to retest the next a very key level over here, which is like for around $40. This previous range consolidation resistance. So I feel at this level, it should be able to do some bounce from here, since it's like the first retest. Yeah, then I think resistance for now maybe $46 from this breakdown. Yeah, so maybe you could see some bounce and possibly some resistance from 10 MA, this red line, as well as 46, yeah, for for this Ethereum ETF. Then next one, there's a question of Meta, lah, which I explained about it earlier, but there's another follow-up question. So it's about Meta filled up one gap up. Do you think it will go down to the 555 gap up? Okay, yeah. So if filled one gap up, which you are correct, is here, which is like this 600 level. Do I think it will continue to fill the next gap up? I think for this week, most probably unlikely. So because I feel that Nasdaq could move sideways this week. Then even when Nasdaq was dropping last week, Meta started to sideways already. So it it last week from last week it started to gain a bit of a relative strength compared to Nasdaq. So I feel that if Nasdaq could do sideways this week, I think Meta shouldn't break again to fill the next gap for this week. Yeah. So I think, but this is for this week only lah. I feel if there's a breakdown below, if somehow there's a if price action wise suggests there's a breakdown of 580, then I think it will fill the 555 550 gap. But I think over here more or less should be quite near the bottom really if it does happen. I feel yeah. So that's my take on this. Next question is on MP and SURF. Yeah, so for MP materials, I feel that this counter after the pullback, which is below this upward trendline support as well as the horizontal level like 65. Here, most likely for now is could be doing some sideways price action because at the lows over here after the earnings where volume came out, it did a good rebound. And afterwards, we can see resistance at 65, which was also a breakdown level, and yeah, just looks like it's moving sideways. So I think for now the range is 50 to 65. I think if it does retest 50 again, most likely will go. Then for now, still resistance at 65. There's the 150 SMA around there as well. Yeah, so I think most likely could be sideways trading. Yeah. Then if below 50, the next key support level will be like somewhere like 39 to 42 area. Now. Previously over here there's a gap. Then next one is surf robotics. Yeah, for surf robotics, I think it's still a gradual downtrend. Yeah, could be something like that. Yeah, I think overall it's still trending downwards. Then in terms of the price action recently, like this 9.9 or its support breakdown level still holding as resistance. So currently it's holding 8.7 around there. So the next support level is 7.8 based on previous horizontal level over here. They could test. Then for now, it's in terms of moving averages also 10 MA is with 5 and 10 MA over here resistance. So I think could be still trending downwards for now lah, unless it gets out of this trend line channel over here. Yeah. Next question, MTC, Teladoc, and GME. Okay, first one is MTC, Tech. Okay, too many lines over here. Just remove them. Okay, so for this counter, I think first up is I want to say is that it's a penny stock lah. So over here high volume 300 over million, but after you can see very fast dry up. Over here like 1 million, and now it's like 200, 400k, 200k, below 1 mil kind of daily volume lah. So in terms of TA, I think might not be the most accurate because you need for TA to work. I think you need good volume consistently. But for now, in terms of looking at the chart wise, I feel it's probably most it could be a descending triangle, holding support at $2, and then we have this trend line and holding as resistance, like 250 over here will be resistance. So I think we could maybe see some sideways over here. If it gets out of 250, the next key level maybe like $3 over here. Yeah. Then below $2, maybe 150 next. Yeah, so that's for Tech. Next one is Teladoc. For Teladoc, I think it's back to the previous support level. This is around 660. So 660 has been holding support since a few times since August last year and also like April this year. So I think this level could still hold as support for now. Most likely could be something that we've seen over here, just sideways trading between like 660 to 770. Then there's a intermediate resistance like 730 over here for now. Then yeah, for it to try to bounce, I think you need to cross up above 10 MA, like 710. Then possibly you could bounce towards like 730 to 730 then 770. Okay, next question is on GameStop. Okay, for GameStop, I think it's gradual downtrend. I can see price really trending downwards along the 5 and 10 MA levels. Then also breakdown of horizontal support. This swing low at 2150, which was this June swing low. So still weakness. I think it could gradually trend lower, maybe to test 1930. Previously a horizontal level that marked out. Yeah, somewhere over here. Previously like August, September last year. The next one is on GRNY and UNH. So GRNY is this fund strat granny shorts US large cap ETF. Okay, let me just draw out some of the key levels. Okay, so for this, I think I haven't seen what's the underlying, but it looks like it tracks the something like the indices or yeah. So I think for this we can see bearish price action recently where there's this uptrend of high lows being broken over here like 2470 and retest on Thursday held resistance, testing the next support level at 2370 and some indecision at this level. So I feel that over here we might see the over here is a support level, but we might see some bounce, but overall I think will be still quite weak. Generally, the strong resistance from the 10 MA, this line over here, red line over here. Then I feel overall no confirmation of a low yet. Yeah, so it could continue to trend a bit lower if it breaks below Friday's lows. Next key support level is at 2280 over here, like this horizontal level. Yeah. Then if it continue go lower, then 200 MA is another key level as well. It's purple line. The next one is UNH. Okay, for UNH, I think last week it was here. So UNH bearish because broke down since broke down 354 over here, like from the double top, then further weakness was here, 339 breakdown, retested the resistance. And last week tested this level. So tested the 310 previous range consolidation level. So bounce as support. With some support, it did a bounce. Then for now, I think some resistance is the 10 MA over here. So for Friday, it was 322 was the horizontal level as well as 10 MA. So for now, I think if we can hold back above this level, I think the next resistance maybe at 332. So 32 is this swing low over here as well as 20 MA level. 32 then 340 this swing high again. That will be the near term two recent level. So I think there could be a bounce if it holds 322 this level here. Yeah, but still some resistance ahead, then maybe it could do some sideways for now. But I think it will probably won't get lower than 310 for now. After a retest of this range consolidation last week. Okay, next one is on Riot, Mara, and Ken. So first on Riot, Riot tested the support level over here, 12 point around 12.5. So we could possibly see some bounce, but we'll expect resistance like 14 now. The horizontal resistance as well as 10 MA level. And the next support level downwards is like uh somewhere close to 11. Yeah, then for Mara Holdings, Mara is still quite weak. You can see overall breaking 12 and it's back at 9.8. Then below 9.8, okay, let me see. Below 9.8, the kick support level 8.4 lah. 8.4, then 7.6. Yeah, these two levels. Then for now, over here test, we could see some bounce, some slight bounce, I guess. But resistance maybe from the horizontal breakdown like 11 over here, then 11 to 12 lah, this area with the 10 MA coming down as well. The next one, Canon. So for Canon, we can see also still weakness. It's trending down and recent price action breakdown of this $1.09 level retest held its resistance. I think for now maybe a bit sideways because I think around 80 cents about there's a horizontal level previously. So I think price might be a bit range bound between like 80 cents to 92 cents. Sorry. between 80 cents. Yeah, between 80 cents to about $1 about there. The next question is on link rate, Hong Kong, then CMG and IIPR. Okay, so for link rate, let me look at the chart. Okay, so for Link REIT, I think recently, I think it was strong selling after earnings, high volume as well. The breakdown of this $40 level. So come down a small green to a bit of a green today on lower volume. So I think if we might see some slight bounce, but I think for now, I think if it does retest the 5 MA, most likely will hold as a bit of resistance after this strong selling. Yeah, so I'm expecting resistance maybe at 38 for now. If it can hit that lah. But most likely I think if it does retest the 5 MA, most likely will find resistance. Then uh yeah, the next strong if it's a good support level, I think for this maybe it's around 34. So because I feel there's some horizontal level there based on the past and zooming out, there's a uptrend, there's a longer term uptrend support line that's holding now. So two confluence of supports. I think if it hits 34, there might be a better support. Yeah. So that's for Link REIT. Next one, Chipotle Mexican Grill. So for Chipotle, I think overall is a downtrend. Then after the earnings gap down, price has been just sideways. So I think nothing much happening for now, I feel. I think most likely will be sideways with support like 29.40, and then the key resistance at 34 lah. So I think will be just a $5, 29 to $34 range bound. Chart not showing anything for now as well. Just moving sideways. Next one, IIPI, Innovative Industrial Properties Inc. Okay, so for this, I think generally it's quite range bound. If you look from uh start of April this year until now. So key resistance 55 around there. Key support is for 44. So for now, I think trending down, uh trending down, I think then retesting this swing low level. So there might be some resistance over here. And 20 MA might be a bit of resistance. So I think this area like around 49 to 50, there might be some resistance. Then it might continue to trend downwards. So maybe something similar to this part over here. Where there's a bit of bounce, retest, then continue downwards. Yeah. Okay, next one is Duolingo and Salesforce. So for Duolingo, let's see. Okay, so price has been trending downwards quite a bit. Um, After earnings, continue to show weakness, where it's still trending downwards along 5 MA for now. So I think will be still some weakness unless can try to recover above 181. We stand MA for now. Also a breakdown of the first day this intraday lows over here after the gap down. Then in terms of support wise that could trend towards, I think next key support is let me see, next key support maybe like this 145 over here, this swing low around here. Yeah, for Duolingo. So I think it's still very weak for now for this stock. And next one, Salesforce, also showing some weakness. Yeah. So last week was here. So here then break down this 234 level. So most likely then now retesting 226. This a bit of some support coming in, but I think overall will be still quite weak. I think I will expect resistance from the 5 MA 230 to 234 this area. It could do a bit of bounce sideways, but overall it's still weak. And I think yeah, if 226 fails to hold as support, I think it could continue to trend downwards towards like 215 lah. Maybe this swing low, 31st May last year around there. Hey, hi Irene, your question is DE index. I think it's I think it's two different questions. D should be this Deere and company. Then DAX index is probably the German index. Okay, so let me look at the chart for this. Okay, so for this, I feel for now, this part, I think is a bit of a ascending triangle consolidation. So higher lows along this support and resistance is coming to this resistance area. Previously, there was this range area breakdown. So like around 490 to 500, this area, I will expect some resistance to come in. Then price maybe just sideways, do a bit of pullback and sideways along here, I feel. Yeah. Then I think also could be some earnings coming out this week. Yeah. So let's see how it goes afterwards. Then for the DAX index, okay, for DAX index, okay, so I think generally the rough outlines like that. So this is the very strong longer term support level. Then for now, very long sideways period. Uh, some slight weakness recently now, because previously every time you see when it comes towards 23.2K, there's a good bounce straight away. And now it's taking some time. There's some hesitation around here at the support level. So I think over here it will be quite important to see whether it can hold these lows on 23K around there. If it breaks below 23K, I'm expecting further weakness to test 22.2K next. Yeah, so for now, just some weakness starting to come in with this indecision and support. Most likely a bit sideways. If 23K holds, I would think sideways for now. With some resistance at 23.5K around this 10 ME level, as well as the breakdowns of these two swing lows over here. Yeah. Okay, then there's a question on silver. Okay. Okay, so after the strong rally, I think yeah, silver seems to go like it's just maintaining sideways. Has been maintaining sideways. So it did a double top 54, 40, pull back. The good thing is that it's still holding this 49.30 as support lah. So break out this range, still holding as support, that's a good sign. And yeah, also double confluence, like similar to the what I talked about gold earlier, there's a short term upward support line and also horizontal level. So if you can continue to hold this 49.30, I think should be still okay lah. Most probably sideways over here for now until you can try to get above this swing high 52. Yeah, so I think most likely sideways for now for silver. Also, gold is also moving sideways as well. Okay, I think it's about 9:50. I'll try to take a few more questions. Try to take a bit more questions before I close the session for today. See Hong Kong. Okay, I see there's a question. Hong Kong listed CATL. Then as Singapore, Propnex, Coco, then US, Adobe, Oracle, Grab. Okay, I'll take the first three questions that I see. So first one, CATL. CATL, I feel is showing some weakness for now since 17th November, where previously was a very steady trend. Then now we see the breakdown of 520 and also this upward support line over here. So I feel for now, today close these two similar candles over here. And so I think it's important if it breaks below 460 again, most likely we see further continuation weakness towards 440, this next support level for now. Yeah. Yeah, so I think CTL also weakness for now, and I think it could go lower if it's a breakdown. For next one, prop next. Okay, for prop next, I think there could be some weakness. Or today there's some high volume selling. So I think prop next, I think there could be some weakness in the near term because overall we look at the price action. Previously it was in this range. Then price did a false breakout over here around 242, but couldn't maintain. And then subsequently for a very long period of time, for like 1 month, didn't manage to go back above. So that's a bearish sign. So afterwards, and the next bearish sign is the breakdown of this 220 support level. So range breakdown afterwards. And today high volume selling. I'm not sure why also. So I'm expecting some further downside for prop next in the near term to maybe retest close to this area again, maybe 190 to $2 about there. Yeah. Uh, okay, I'll talk about the last one, Coco Land. Okay, for Coco Land still okay, uptrend. Yeah, uptrend, but something I don't really like is over here where price retested. Also, there was this reasons at 2203 breakout, fell under, then afterwards it's been forming with like lower highs. So retested over here couldn't really hold firm again, then moving sideways as well. So I think some signs of weakness, but there's no confirmation of a breakdown yet. So the most likely I think will be sideways with 195 to 197 here as a support. Yeah, then I think price will move sideways for now. Yeah. Okay, I think I will stop here for today. It's about 9:18 round, so I will just stop sharing my screen. Yeah, so apologies, I'm unable to take all the questions. I think there's still quite a lot of questions I see in the chat. Appreciate for all your questions, but sorry, I'm unable to take all of them. Yeah, for now I'll just share some links to join some of the groups. If you are new or existing, then you haven't joined. Yeah, then you want to learn, you want to have more like TA. Let me just drop in the chat. Okay, so first thing is that I'll drop the survey form. So there's this link over here. You can feel free to leave any feedback you have about today's session. If you have any, so I can help to improve your experience further in future. If anything you like about today, also feel free to drop that. So I know like what works for all of you. And also if you haven't joined or you are new, welcome. Feel free to join the Poem Street community if you haven't by clicking this link. So there's the different groups over there. Then there's one on TA. So if you have any questions, you can just feel free to just drop a question over there. Then I will answer it when I see it. Then there's also another one is the Poems Telegram group at Poems TA. So this is a Telegram group handle. If you haven't joined, you can feel free to join this group. So I'll post all the recording for all this session, as well as you have any question you can ask there as well. Yeah, so that's it. I think that's it for today. Thanks everyone for joining today's session and all your questions. And I hope to see you again in the next session. So have a good trading week ahead, and I think continue to be wary of the risk. Just manage your risks, and I think if you are looking for, let's say, investing, I think for now, I think it's better. It's now quite an attractive time, given that market is finally pulling back quite a bit. And you look at it, it's now extreme fear, and I think can just look into some of the counters that you're interested in. There's good fundamentals and it's dropped quite a bit. Yeah, so that's my view on it. Yeah. So have a good week ahead, everyone, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.